Hello, everybody, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me here today. My name is Lynn Poland. I am the co-founder of Kindred Beginnings, a family building support community. I am also a 4-year Resolve volunteer and support group host, founder of the Walk of Hope, New Jersey, certified integrative fertility coach, and author of Creating Me, a customizable, interactive children's book series for parents to explain assisted reproductive technology to their kiddos. So I want to welcome you to this time and space that you've carved out to learn how to create a more caring workplace. And truly, I designed this specifically to bring more attention to the family building struggles that are happening in your workplace, because someone you work with is struggling to build a family, and you may or may not know about it. So truly, thank you so very much for taking this extra time and attention. This truly shows the community that you care about them. And there's so much stigma and shame that surrounds family building struggles. Just by talking about it, by attending these kinds of educational workshops, we are working to shatter that stigma and shame. So truly, thank you very much for your time and attention today. So let's talk about infertility. Infertility is a disease. It is a medical condition. It's a disease that's characterized by the failure to establish a clinical pregnancy after 12 months of trying to conceive, or it is diagnosed to one who is unable to reproduce. So some fast facts. A couple aged 29 to 33 with normal functioning reproductive systems only have about a 20 to 25% chance of conceiving in any given month. 1 in 8 couples have trouble getting pregnant or sustaining their pregnancy. And infertility is truly about as common as breast cancer. It's just that not many people are talking about it. 1 in 4 couples experience pregnancy or infant loss. More than 5 million people of childbearing age experience infertility in the US alone, and 7.4 million women have ever received infertility services in their lifetime. And when we speak to infertility, typically 1/3 of infertility is due to the female partner, 1/3 due to the male, and 1/3 is due to both partners or is classified as unexplained infertility. And it's really hard. There was a study conducted out of Harvard by Dr. Alice Domar, and she revealed that those who struggle to build their family have the same level of anxiety and depression as those diagnosed with cancer, AIDS, and heart disease. And here's the thing. Many are quiet about their struggle. You don't know what you don't know. So don't assume. Be kind always. Infertility is truly a trauma. Not only does it bring with it the feelings of anxiety and depression, but shame, vulnerability, loneliness, feelings of being misunderstood. So you may or may not know that someone is struggling to build their family. You will notice changes if somebody is actively engaged in fertility treatments. You may notice that work schedules start to alter due to frequent doctor visits, and know that these appointments, they're not flexible. They're often, about every other day often. And sometimes they're unpredictable. Sometimes you're told you need to be here in 2 hours for a monitoring appointment. So know that these doctor's appointments are timed based on the treatment protocols, and oftentimes are non-negotiable in their scheduling. There is a tremendous amount of physical and emotional stress and overwhelm that really makes it difficult to stay on top of work tasks. You may notice that a person is fatigued or seems preoccupied or unfocused, especially if in the middle of a hormone protocol where she might be ingesting hormones that are causing her to be preoccupied and maybe not seem herself. So what can you do to be helpful? Please be mindful of your innocent, ignorant language. I have put up here different phrases that we hear oftentimes when people do know that we are struggling to build our family. A lot of times we hear, just relax, give it time, it'll happen. Although coming from a truly authentic place, these phrases are not helpful. They are triggering and they are hurtful. So please refrain from offering this kind of advice and making these kinds of statements. It's also really important to be mindful of all things related to pregnancy, including announcements. Yes, we know that there's going to be pregnant people in the office. Yes, we know that people will be announcing that they are a soon-to-be mom or dad. If you know that somebody is struggling, it would just be a kind courtesy to talk to them prior to announcing a pregnancy, or you can even truly send them an email prior to making that announcement, just to give him or her time or space just to process that information. Because the hardest thing is to smile and be caught off guard and say, oh my goodness, I'm so happy for you. Because ultimately the next part of that thought is, and I am so sad for me. So if you know that somebody is struggling, please speak to them beforehand, and emails are okay too. Sometimes that's better, so the person on the receiving end gets a little extra time to process privately. Same thing is true when we're talking about the challenges of parenting. Yes, being a parent is hard. Struggling to build one is too. So if you know that somebody is struggling, they're probably not the right person to talk to about your parenting challenges. Even if you don't know that somebody's struggling, but maybe you suspect, he or she too would not be the most appropriate person to talk to about parenting challenges. If you do know that somebody's struggling, please be respectful of boundaries. Let them lead the conversation when it comes to their family building journey. And if they do confide in you, please keep their journey private. Allow them to choose whether or not to share their journey with other coworkers and administrators and HR. And this kind of goes back to the innocent ignorance slide. Please refrain from giving them advice. There is no such thing as just doing IVF or just adopting. So again, although you may feel that these phrases are helpful, they are not, so please be mindful of them. Be sensitive with words. You would be a great mom or dad. What are you waiting for? Why don't you have more children? Don't wait too long to have kids. These two are all very triggering statements that need to be avoided. So please just choose your words wisely. And be supportive and flexible. Again, treatments are incredibly invasive in mind, in body, in spirit. They're quite time consuming. Most likely, we're at the doctor about every other day when we're really in the thick of things. It requires frequent doctor visits. So please just be supportive, understanding, flexible, compassionate, and gentle. And simply just show that you care. Truly, we don't need much. We just need somebody to sit in empathy, not trying to fix it. Just asking, how can I help? What can I do if you notice that someone's struggling? You can send a caring text, just thinking of you, or call, send an email, note, acknowledging her on Mother's Day and him on Father's Day, and just simply saying, I'm here for you and I support you. That's truly all that you need to do. We truly need to change the language. We are so frequently, we're on so many virtual calls now, we're in business meetings, we're meeting new people all the time. Instead of asking, oh, it's so nice to meet you. Do you have children? How many children do you have? It's typically one of the first things that people ask. Let's learn how to shift our language to, tell me about your family. I wanted to spend just a couple minutes talking about the Americans with Disabilities Act. So this prohibits discrimination against an individual based on disability and requires employers to provide accommodation to its employees with disabilities. And the US Supreme Court has identified infertility as a disability under ADA. Where it gets a little bit tricky is with FMLA and the Family and Medical Leave Act. Infertility treatments are not necessarily covered by FMLA. It really is dependent on each individual situation. If that situation is considered a serious health condition and if it disrupts an employee from work for more than a few days. So when dealing with FMLA, it would be best practice to consult and contact your HR department for information on FMLA, how it applies in your workplace in your state. Here's that word again, infertility. It's not bad. It's okay to talk to someone about. It's okay to have conversations. It doesn't define who someone is. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It is a medical diagnosis. It is a disease. I have linked to this presentation, and there will also be a downloadable PDF attached to this presentation, some additional resources and articles that you can read more to learn about and educate yourself on how to better support the family building community and those who are struggling within your workplace. I thank you so much for your time and attention. Again, my name is Lynn Poland, and I am the co-founder of Kindred Beginnings. We truly are a family building community with a mission to provide support, validation, education, and resources for all who are family building. So if you would like more information, if you would like us to do a presentation or a workshop within your company or your community, please reach out to me directly. I can be reached at lynn@kindred-beginnings.com, or you can check out our website at kindred-beginnings.com. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. Be well, be kind.